What did I just read? Hello, everybody. Welcome to What Did I Just Read? I'm Holly.
I thought you forgot your name for a second. And I'm LA.
And we just read The Succubus Prize by Katee Robert. Then fourth or fifth? 4.5?
It's
One
weird
of the
because
installments of The Demon Bargain. The latest. Here we go. Circle back.
yes.
The latest installment of A Demon's Bargain.
Yes. Yeah, perfect. We started this series about a year ago.
LA?
Yeah.
Or over a year ago. LA,
Jesus.
can I wish you something?
Yes. I was waiting for
LA?
this.
Happy anniversary.
Oh, happy anniversary.
I got you my love
Oh.
because I didn't
You
send
already had
anything
mine.
I know you did mine too.
It's very fitting that we're doing this. It's really fitting that we're doing this book on
I
our
know. Isn't that bananas? On our anniversary?
Yeah.
Crazy. And we did
Because Katee,
all of these.
yeah.
The
Katee Robert is sorry.
We keep speaking over each other. You go first.
Blah, blah, blah. No. You say it again.
I was just going to say that A Gargoyle's Captive came out a year ago. And that's when we had completed that first circle of monster romances that we are going to release later in the summer last year.
I was going to say that of all the authors we've done, Katee Robert is probably the most that we've covered, because we also did that pirate one, Hunt on Dark Waters or something.
Yeah,
we did that. Great.
No. We talk about Katee Robert a lot, and I think that's because she's so prolific, right?
Yeah.
And I think when people are in their early stages of like smut romance and monster romance and maybe mythology romance with her Greek mythology series, people stumble upon Katee Robert pretty early in their reading journey. And I think that's how we both stumbled upon her. She is big hype on BookTube and Book Talk and all of the Facebook groups, really. And now I think everybody's kind of hooked on these series, whether they love them or not. And I think we're a part of that.
Oh, yeah. And how us to do a monster romance.
Oh, my God. I mean, how us when really we haven't.
Anyways.
We haven't read many monster romance that are not Katee Robert. Only really one. Well, I guess two other ones. There was My Roommate's a Vampire, and
that's not by Katee Robert.
No, I know, but the one's not by Katee Robert was My Roommate's a Vampire and the Milking Farm one.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Those are the only two. I mean, I guess that's kind of like a lot of monster romance for a romance podcast. LA, is there something wrong with us?
we also did I don't know if you consider them monsters, but Ice Planet Barbarians with our husbands.
No, those aren't monsters. Those are like gentlemen.
Oh my God.
Those are blue gentlemen.
There's this in my group of book friends that I have here. There's a book that they're passing around, and I forget the title of it, but it's about the coronavirus.
You've told me about this one.
Have I told you about that one? Yeah. And I'm like, they're loving it. They're like, this is a work of art. And they got it from Half Price Books for like $2.
What?
And they're just like, yeah.
And you haven't gotten your paws on this yet?
You should look at this cover. It's so weird.
I mean, please send a girl a picture, LA.
There's this whole subgenre of romances that is just so there's what is it called? We've talked about this before, but it's like sentient objects and stuff. Like there's the
Yeah.
doorknob one.
Yeah, and the pillow and Clippy from Microsoft Word. Um,
People are
a
fucking weird.
praying mantis. I've not read. There's oh god, there's this girl who her whole Instagram account are these books. And I love them so much because it's just so funny. I need to send it
Yeah.
to you. Remind me to send it to you. I'll put it in the notes on
Okay.
this episode because I think people will love it because it's
Right?
just so bananas. And this coronavirus one that you're talking about, where it's like
Yep.
the coronavirus becomes sentient and the vaccine becomes sentient, and there's a three-way, right? Between a girl and the virus and the and the vaccine.
Mhm.
So yeah, if people are into that, I mean, Google it.
Oh God. So we this one, the Succubus Prize, is
Yes.
on a succubus. So what's a succubus, Holly? Do you know?
Oh, LA. You put me on the
I
spot.
that's thank you. I didn't know what it was either.
But there's somebody who tempts somebody into sex, right?
I always thought a succubus was somebody, so I'm Googling on Wikipedia and it says a succubus is a female-looking demon or supernatural entity in folklores who appears in dreams to seduce men, usually through sexual activity.
Okay. And an incubi is the same, but reverse, a male.
Right.
A demon in a male form in folklore that seeks to have sexual intercourse with a sleeping woman.
But what was all this shit in this book about how they look? So we're following, and how do you say their name? So Belladonna's the girl in this book, and
Rusalka?
oh, okay, sure.
Wait, well, no. Oh, I
I
wish I
didn't even
didn't say it.
attempt.
I
No, I
wish
didn't
I
even
did not.
attempt.
Oh, LA. How did
No,
you? No, maybe it's because I live in Romania and there's a lot of names similar, like Radica and Raluca.
I just didn't want to have another. How did we say his name? Azazel and Romanu
You said
and
them all correct. I was the one saying them weird. I listened to
no.
Katie Robert and I told you, LA, you're the one
Oh,
saying them right. I'm the idiot.
oh, no.
Azazel, Azazel is you. You're right. I'm wrong.
Huh.
Romanu, I think we were both saying correct.
So you spell the succubus in this book. Their name is Rusalka.
Rusalka. Rusalka?
Rusalka.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sounds
Okay.
Romanian to me, honestly. Or at least
And
like Eastern European.
okay. And the cover,
Good.
I mean, the cover of this book, she looks almost angelic. Okay, so pronouns
Hmm.
too. Rusalka uses she and
She,
they pronouns, right?
yeah. She can become male if she so chooses. She prefers female.
Yeah. And on this cover, she has short blonde hair with almost elf-like ears.
That's how she's described in the book.
Yep, breasts, and then wings and fire.
Does she have wings in the book? Oh, she does have wings of fire in the book.
Yeah, when she like climaxes or whatever.
Lucky
And
girl.
then hoofs.
Mm-hmm. The hooves. The hooves.
Just paint me a picture there.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Okay, so story time. I went on a yoga retreat, and on this yoga retreat, there was a farrier, which I learned is a person who deals with hooving. I feel like I'm saying that word so weird, but like shoeing horses and donkeys and hooved animals, right? And so
My
I
God.
LA, I could only think of Rusalka being hooved in
Oh
this
my
book
God.
upon occasion. I was just like, that's not very sexy. That's not very romantic. Hmm. Does a does a succubi need to be hooved? these
I know.
these are the questions that are going on in my head, LA. Is that something
Oh.
that needs to happen? Is she clickety clacking through her mansion?
Oh. Yep.
I
Oh.
mean, when she's okay, we have read another romance with a hooved love interest.
Oh. Morning Glory Milking Farm. Uh-huh.
Where
Yep.
sheets were like potentially torn by hooves, and he had to wear special shit. She doesn't to wear these special. I don't know. These are thoughts in my head.
Oh my God.
Welcome to my mind.
Oh God.
Do you want to leave it now? It's okay if you do.
No, no, no. I love it. It's just, oh man, this book. What did you think? Should we do star ratings or
let's
overall impressions? What do you?
let's do it all, LA. Let's put it
Oh,
all out in the beginning.
okay.
Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
What are star ratings? For me, God, LA, it's like a 2.53 for me
Okay.
for this book. You?
Okay. I might give it a 1.
Oh, oh my God. Hold on. I'm trying to get my breath back.
For I mean, for sentimental sake, I might give it a 2.
Wow.
I know.
LA.
Can I tell you the part that I loved the most about this book was
Uh-huh.
hearing more about Azazel and Eve's story.
There was a lot about that.
Yeah, that's the only part I liked about this book.
It was kind of boring.
Oh dear God.
Yeah. Wow. So wait,
It
hold on,
was,
hold on,
yeah.
hold on. So
Yeah.
I feel like I have to go through your ratings of the other books. Dragon's Bride was a 4 for you, right?
Was it? Was it?
Or is it 5?
Let me look it up. I have no idea. Do you
Because
remember your ratings?
no, I feel like yours are more important because yours are like
What?
you're like way nicer than me. To give a 1 to this book, I'm just flabbergasted.
This book was,
This book is it's boring and then controversial at
yeah,
times. So I'm
yeah.
so interested into getting into it with you in different pieces. Okay. A
You're
Dragon's
right.
Bride, 4 stars. A Demon's Bargain, 3 stars.
Nope, I gave that one 4.
Four.
Sorry.
Okay, four
Yep.
stars. A Demon's Bargain, 4 stars. A
Kraken
Kraken, a Kraken
sacrifice.
Sacrifice, 3 stars.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Gargoyles Captive, 3 stars. LA. I can't even. Okay. And then this one. What?
I'm actually angry that I read this book. I feel like it was such a waste of time. I didn't like the sexy scenes. I did
Uh-huh.
not care for Belladonna and that whole storyline. The grammar in this was awful, could not connect to
Uh-huh.
the
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
characters.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I felt like she rushed into this. I felt there was literally the only part I might give it 2 stars. I might give it 2 stars because I liked knowing more about Azazel and Eve.
Yeah.
That's about fucking it. I didn't care about the succubus world.
Uh-huh.
I didn't care about fucking anything. I didn't like how Rizulka treated Belladonna and this
Mm-mm.
whole, oh my God, the whole thing. I'm just, yeah, okay. I'm gonna land on it. I really want to give it a 1. I'm gonna give it 2.
Do
I think
it.
I'm gonna give it
Do
2.
it. Do it.
No, because I'm not
Oh,
like that.
LA, you're
No, I
so
can't.
nice.
I can't because I did like that one part that doesn't even relate to this story about
Uh-huh.
Azazel. I feel like Katie Robert, I love her to pieces, but I felt like she just did this as I have to do this as part of the series and
Oh,
like
and
this
it
is the
was
story.
so preachy, this one. It was so preachy. There was little plot
Yikes.
and all preach.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yep. Yes. Exactly. And I want to get
Like,
into that, but
I
before,
get it. Yeah.
well, what was your rating and your impressions?
I mean, again, like my rating was like Well, now
Oh
I'm
yeah,
at
that's
two
right.
and a
You said
half. I
two and a
said two and a
half.
half, three, but now I feel so generous because of what you said. And my peer pressure is like a real thing, LA. I mean, I guess like I think about the end and I hated it. I hated it so much. I
Yep.
hated the end. I couldn't get behind it. No, I
Yep.
don't. I wanted to be open to it and I couldn't.
Same.
And so like that took like 2 stars. I don't know. It's like between a 2 and a 3. I don't know what to do. It's probably, I mean, I think in the at the end of the day, it's going to be a 2. I don't think it's worse than a Kraken's sacrifice. I think a Kraken sacrifice annoyed me more.
That one had at least tentacles.
Yeah, but he was awful. He was so annoying. Rusalka was at least like
No, she was just as
respected
annoying.
her. No, she was
No.
not. No, strongly disagree. Strongly disagree.
Oh
How
my
can you
God.
even compare Thane and Rusalka? How?
How can you not?
How can you?
Oh my God. I just can't. I just can't.
So if you were in a room and you had to pick between Thane and
Yeah.
Rusalka, you would pick Thane.
Because I'm a penis girl. Yeah.
Wrong. But Rusalka can grow one if you want one.
True, but he has more than one.
Oh my god. Again, Rusalka, shapeshifter if you want one. I mean, fingers.
Yeah.
I can't. I can't get behind
But
saying
the
saying
share the
that's a
sharing,
whiner.
no, the sharing and the whole no. No. I can't.
I didn't mind the sharing later in the beginning of the book. Awful. Well, oh no. Oh, LA. The beginning and the book. Oh, the whole
I
bookends of
know.
the book were awful.
Right? Here's the
Yeah.
thing I like. Here's the
Okay.
thing I like about monster romances is that you
Hmm.
usually have, and it doesn't have to be a male the whole time, but typically they are, you have a very jealous, overbearing, hyperprotective individual over their partner, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's what I like because you want someone that's like all about the other person and is doing that. And this one I didn't get a sense that she was even even there were moments that she was like a tad bit jealous that Belladonna was going and being in this play party or whatever, which was like fucking weird. But like
She set it up.
uh-huh. And I'm like no, it strays so far away from all of the other
Hmm.
characters. It's so different. It's because of
Yeah.
Belladonna's
And it
issues, it
felt
made no
forced
sense.
different, didn't it? Like she was like, I'm
Yes.
trying to be so different than all the other characters I've written in this series. Everything
Yeah.
felt so forced in this book.
Yeah. And we've complained before in another book that she has a cookie cutter kind of like outlet, like for her books, right? Like in
Uh-huh.
this
Yeah.
series or in her other series. It
Huh.
just makes sense. Oh, I didn't like how she diverged so far from because I think it really worked in The Demon's Bargain and The Dragon's Bride.
Hmm.
We didn't really like the Kraken Sacrifice and the Gargoyle's Captive because we didn't really like, I think, the monsters. I still think that we liked the women.
I like the women. The monsters were awful. Yeah.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
one's hard, though you didn't really hate Rosalka or and I
Mm-mm.
didn't really hate her either. So I'll backtrack on that. I didn't really hate her. Belladonna drove me up the motherfucking wall.
I mean, just one tone. Just a single note. Dee 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 dee. So aggravating and annoying. Belladonna, done. No, thank you.
And I feel guilty saying that because I felt like I should sympathize with her and like what she's gone through and the whole
Meh.
message, which we should talk about what Bella's maybe can you set that up?
Yeah.
Like what
So,
is
yeah. So Belladonna is approached by Azazel to sign a contract again to join the demon realm for 7 years in exchange for her sister's cancer treatment. And we learn that Belladonna is kind of on dire straits because she doesn't get along with her family because they're all evangelicals. And she is very much on the outskirts of that. She has had sex with her boyfriend in the parking lot of her church, which she mentions a lot, is the one time ever that she's had sex, correct?
That's the
Um,
impression I got.
that's
Yeah.
the impression I got. But she's also attracted to all sexes. And so when Rusalka comes along, she's very attracted to Rusalka, which is great. And of course, again, in all of these books, she seems to only be, well, not only be, but mostly be attracted to Rusalka, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Until Rusalka opens up a sex party for her.
I don't. So Azazel, when he was doing the contract, so it was the
Uh-huh.
same thing. She was part of the whole auction and blah blah blah. Azazel and Rizulka have a friendship of some sort between each other.
It's contentious, right?
Yeah.
But it's oddly contentious. It felt like Rusalka talked about her relationship with the demon seemed to be one of the closer relationships. And then Azazel did not explain to her what was happening. He explained to her about the auction right before the auction was about to happen. And not only that, but you have to choose this one girl because I don't think she's going to stand up for what she wants.
What?
What
And
the
you're
fuck?
told yeah, and you're told this at the very beginning, so you don't
Yeah.
know Belladonna's story
Mm-mm.
that much. You're just kind
Mm-mm.
of like, what's wrong with this girl emotionally to where she needs
Yeah, and the fact that he didn't even want to sign Belladonna on to begin with. And then she just signs it and he's like, "Well, okay, I guess that's that." And then he brings her to the house.
what?
What?
It's so confusing.
I
Oh, and
mean,
Rusalka, sorry, left field, she had a relationship with Romano, right? For a while.
oh yeah. I forgot about that.
So fucking random. Like all this stuff is just random. And
But
then,
I feel like that's brought on to be like she's a succubi and she's a free spirit.
oh, for fuck's sake. Then like why wasn't this more hot and heavy and like
Oh
even this
no.
oh god. So then she's dealing with she has a scar on her soul. So Belladonna has a scar on her soul that was inflicted by her upbringing and her faith in this god and whatever, right?
Mhm.
And so Rizulka is trying to be sensitive and easy with her and explain why
Yeah.
sex is good and it's not a sin and it's not evil. And she's
Yeah.
supposed to be the most sexual, I guess, of the monsters, or I don't know.
Yeah, and all along the way, Belladonna's understanding that these monsters need a baby to increase their magical power. That's been explained to her. And she's just like, "Well, okay, let's have a baby." And just trying to
Ugh.
like
In the first day,
the
in the
first day,
first,
she's just like, "Let's do it. Let's go. Let's have this baby to help your people."
oh, no, no, no. Rizulka says, oh, well, if you still feel that in a week,
In a week.
then
She has to be there for 7 years. And Rusalka's like, a week? I'm like, really, Rusalka? What? What do you
oh,
mean?
oh, this whole baby thing. And I think it's some people's kink. There are
Yeah,
books out there that
for
like
sure. But I don't think that this book is for that.
awful, awful.
No. I mean, does
And it,
it lead to that? Yes. Should you read this book for that kink? Absolutely not. No.
yeah.
Does that make sense?
Because yeah, well, because these monster books are they're all it's all based on a breeding kink, right? Like the whole point is to what you explained earlier is to have a baby, right? But it's not
I just,
if
LA.
you reflect to the other books though, like
Yeah.
they're kind of fighting that a little bit, right? Like
Yeah,
it's
and I
more
think that's
about
kind of something that like really upsets me. Why base this whole series on a breeding kink and then not lean into it. I think
Yeah.
that's something that really, and aggressively so.
Yeah.
Like, it's their prerogative, not their prerogative, it's their like desire to have a baby or not. Make it their desire. I guess I don't know. Like that sounds so awful, but it's just I don't like it when you're making up a breeding kink for a series and then you pull back on it.
Yeah.
Does that
I
make
think what I was,
sense?
it does. Yeah. I think what I was seeking, at least in the other books, is you have two people that are invested into each other and trying to figure out how are they going to make the best out of a weird situation, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And you learn about one another in those books usually, right? So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
more about their realm, their history and their backstory and blah blah blah. Was do you know anything about Rosulka after this book?
No. No.
Exactly. Exactly. Where was the relationship between her and Belladonna? It was all about Belladonna and her trauma. That's
It was
literally what it was.
yeah. Yeah. And it was honestly nothing new.
Thank
Nothing
you.
new in the world, in my life that I haven't heard before. And I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm kind of bored with it.
Yeah. No, I'm
I
the
would
same.
have I would have liked something new thrown at it. I don't know. I was just like I was so bored in the whole middle part of this book of Belladonna trying to figure herself the fuck out.
The
And maybe
internal
that's because
dialogue,
yeah. And maybe that's
come
again because
on.
I'm 35 fucking years old. I'm almost 36. I know myself. I don't hearing Belladonna bitch. I'm just like
Yeah.
and honestly, like that sounds so shitty to say, but also like LA, I don't know her trauma. I don't know what she really went through. Do you? Not really. Do you?
No, it was so high level, not in deeply like talked about. It was so vague.
So vague. And that's like also what like tipped me over like the edge of like being so not on Belladonna. I mean, I'm okay. No, 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 no. That's what made me so annoyed with Belladonna because I
Yep.
didn't know exactly what she went through.
Yep. Yeah.
Because I don't really think Katie Robert knew.
Ooh, perfectly said. Yes. And that's what I'm trying to lead back to about my comment about knowing your characters and knowing like falling in love and like
Yeah.
knowing their backstory and like share. That didn't happen in this book. I
No.
thought, and sorry, another thing that pissed me off. Her name is Belladonna, right? Which is
Yeah.
a plant. Is it like a poison plant or something?
I don't know. I think of Italian Belladonna. That means like beautiful, right?
It's deadly nightshade. It's a
Oh,
toxin and a plant apparently. Whatever.
oh.
So
Mm.
her like gardening, I thought it was gonna have a dark turn. I thought,
Mm.
oh,
Mm.
Belladonna, night. And I was like, oh, okay, this is why I'm reading this because it's
Clap
so different
back
than the other ones.
Belladonna. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was waiting for that the entire time. I was like, this girl is just really sh not like insecure. She has no voice. She just goes with what everybody tells her. She doesn't know anything about sex, but she's learning that through Rizulka or whatever. Now she's like gardening with this guy. And I thought, okay, this is going to get dark real fast. Like this is going to be the first one where she kills. That's what I
Ooh,
thought was
that would have
going to
been
happen.
exciting. But no, not
Right.
in these books, please.
No, no. Because what happens is it just tell me tell me what your issues with the ending are in this book.
Okay. The ending with this book. So, well, I think the ending starts with the beginning, quite
Yep.
frankly, where Rusalka opens up the night court to Belladonna, and she is not a part of it.
Insomnia
Rusalka,
Court.
the Insomnia Court, which
Yeah.
is other Ikibai and Succubus who are part of this court, but they basically have a like an orgy. And she opens up the first party to Belladonna, and Belladonna is a part of a foursome and gets off in front of Rasulka, and Rasulka like doesn't touch her at all and not a part of it, but she's there sitting and watching. And I hated that. I did not like that at all. And then there's sexy time between the two throughout the book, which, okay, great, la 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 la. And then you get to the end. And throughout the book, Belladonna is saying that she wants to have a baby to help the realm because she knows that a baby will make magic more prolific for their race of monster. And she wants to be that person who brings that to the realm and knows that she is the only person who can do that. At the end of the book, she decides everything's come to conclusion. Her and Rusalka are happy, and the Night Court and Rusalka and her, they're all happy, kind of like as a family ish thing, weird
Sure.
vibe. I don't even know how to describe it because it's not even described in the book. And that's what makes this scene so weird, uncomfortable for me because I wasn't given the vibe that this was a family.
Yep.
And I did not like the ending of this book because of that. And so basically, at the end of this book, Belladonna gets fucked by everybody in the Insomnia Court except for one of them. Well, like, she takes off her charm and then gets fucked by everybody to get pregnant by some random person in the Insomnia Court and not just Rusalka. And that really bothered me
Uh, Same.
because the
Now,
whole court wasn't built up enough.
no, no.
Because her and Rusalka were built up as such a pair throughout the whole book. You read about them going through the different orgies that the whole court would go through, and her and Rusalka were the only two to really have sex together exclusively. And then in the court at the end, she gets banged by all of them. It's so bananas. I don't get it. And that also, which sounds so stupid, but that also felt preachy to this
Mm-hmm.
book. And I
Mm-hmm.
hated it. Hated it. What are your
Agreed.
thoughts?
No, same. I mean, it's interesting because you've read. So this, would you consider this a sapphic romance?
Yeah, yes and no. Yeah, yeah, I would because I think both characters consider themselves women.
Yeah.
So
So,
yeah, I would.
so it's. I thought it was interesting because if this had a breeding kink in it, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
have the pregnancy trope in it,
Yeah.
and she wants to get pregnant, how is she going to do that with Rizulka, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this being the solution for that by it being community based and
Uh-huh.
not knowing whatever on a writing author perspective, okay, makes sense. I didn't like it.
Yeah. But the fact that Rusalka could become male to impregnate her. Like what
I didn't think two. I just thought it was like a strap on, like a just the form.
what? No, she can. She can transform.
I didn't think that she had semen to
Yeah.
impregnate.
Yeah, she does.
Well, now I'm hating it even more. I didn't think of it because I thought that she could just.
No, she can completely transform to do that.
It's a 1 star. I fucking hate this book. Even more, I mean, honestly.
Yeah. Mhm.
Do we even, so sorry, I don't want to jump
Mhm.
ahead, but like, I so desperately want to know. So there's another series that we're reading by Katie Robert. It's the
Uh-huh.
Neon Gods, the Dark Olympus
Uh,
series.
uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That one is how many books? 10?
Oh God, I don't even know. In total, how
Somewhere
many it's
around there.
going to
It's
be? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And it's mythology based, but it's set in modern day, but it still has a magical element to it. And in each one of the books, you are starting to learn more and more about Hermes, right? And it's a
Yeah,
character that you really like, right? Like you want
I
to know
do.
her story. So at the last book that we read, The Midnight Ruin, I think of that book, I was
Uh-huh.
done. I was
It
like, I'm not
was
reading this.
so bad. It was so
It was
bad.
so bad.
There were two
To a point.
peens, and you like the double peen.
Oh my God, I could not stand it. But here's the thing, it's like hang on to books that are set up like companion novels that are set up that way because I'm looking for that story, which we're both looking for Hermes. Now I had that conversation with you and you were like, well, I'm going to continue reading because I really want to get her story. But I'm so put off. I'm like, I don't even
Yeah.
know if I can pick up another one. And this series, similar,
Mhm.
she did the same structure where you're getting a little bit of Azazel's like story the
Yeah.
entire time.
Yeah.
I am desperate for his book now. I think she did it right
See?
in this series and the other in Dark Olympus, not. So what's your yeah,
I don't
are
even
you gonna
think I'm desperate for Azazel's story after this book. After this book, less desperate.
you're done. Yeah.
I'm done because he invited Belladonna and Rusalka to the mansion for a dinner with him and what's her name? Eve. And
Yeah.
Eve is drunk the whole time and hates being there and says, "Peace, bye, have a good dinner," and leaves.
Leaves.
And
Uh-huh.
after that, I'm just like, I'm not really interested in this.
Oh,
I don't really care. You do?
I do. Yeah.
See,
Cause
I'm
I'm
just
like,
like,
because it's
no,
gonna be a
she's
hate to love. It's gonna be a hate to love, and I love that
I
shit.
just like I honestly I just like lost a lot of respect for Azazel over this book.
So his next book, or yeah,
He's
their
the
book,
next one, right?
the next, and I think the
He should be
last,
the
it's
last,
called.
the next and last.
Yeah, it's called The Demon's Queen. And guess when it's being released?
Like a year from now.
Yeah, February of
I
2025.
mean, who fucking cares? I mean,
Yep.
Azazel is such a little bitch. Can we just agree?
Yeah, yeah, he is.
And like the amount of like bullshit he goes to sign the contracts and be like, "Oh no, I don't want you to actually sign this contract. What did I do?" And then they're signed, and then he like, "Well, I guess I have to bring you to the mansion." And then he brings them to the mansion, fucking auctions them all off, and it's like, "Oh well, I shouldn't sign you to like this contract with this monster. What am I doing? Oh no, it's happened." I was just like, you, Azazel. Like, what bullshit game are you playing here? I think this is so stupid. And he does it every
Every
time.
time. Hmm.
Let me talk to you about this girl before I sign the contract, before I let you sign this contract to her. Oh, I don't know about this. He's just playing this crazy uncle. And I'm just like, what bullshit game is this? This is so stupid. I don't get it. I just think he doesn't look like this powerful ruler at all. And I think he just looks like
Uh,
such an idiot.
yeah,
I've lost
I could.
respect. I've over the course of these books, I've lost a lot of respect for Azazel. And I think Ramanu should rule it all.
See, yeah, Romano
But he
should.
doesn't fucking wanna.
Yeah. That was, I think, the best book. Even with the Horn Eyes, I think that they had the
I
best
can get
book.
honestly, LA, I can get past it.
Yeah. You know why I think me and you liked that book so much is because there was more magic in it.
Well, and it's like real people fucking talking. It was like a real story. I feel like the last couple of books is was Katie Robert sending a message and a vibe and a feeling, and this is what I want people to get from these books.
Yeah.
And A Demon's Bargain was, this is a story. This is fun. Also, this stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Do you,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? This is
I
an
do.
empowered woman. And this is a bisexual man. And here is their story. And here's some magic. And this is fun. But all of these other stories, it's just like, this is a broken woman because of religion. And this is why she is so broken. And here is like a very sexual woman. And she's going to bring out this sexual side of this other woman and bring her to like this whole new being of person, which is fine and lovely, but at the same time, she can't do it in a not preachy way and seem like it's a story that we want to read and enjoy.
Yeah. Typically we like messages within books, right? Like that we've
Yeah.
read and we like and we can relate with and we think it's beautifully done, whatever. I
Mhm.
think you're saying it right that it does come off as preachy and it's not, it's just too in your face. And with 170 like this is 170-ish pages or
Uh-huh.
whatever,
Yeah, she doesn't have a whole lot of room.
she doesn't. But I felt like she used a lot of the pages for a lot of bullshit nothingness and
Oh, totally. Yeah.
so she just missed the mark on this one. Sorry, Katie, but
It was really boring. I get, yeah, I mean, you're right. It was more boring than a Kraken sacrifice, but the relationship was better,
healthier. Yeah.
healthier. I mean, the most healthy in compared to the last two.
Yeah,
A
that's
Dragon's
true.
Bride is still the best. I'm discounting a Demon's Bargain. Like I don't count that one because Romanu is just Romanu, right?
Did you
I'm
ever read
discounting the auctioned girls.
did you ever read the Vampire Court
Mm-mm.
of Vampire Queen? Ugh,
No, because I've
as
heard it's quite terrible.
it's awful. But Azazel's in that one. Maybe that's why. I'm sorry. I'm just like mind talking right now. I think maybe that's why I really want his book.
I just feel like I'm just gonna speed read it and not really care because I hate
Don't
to say it, but
don't.
the last few books of Katie Robert, I'm just like, bleh, fuck
I
this.
think she
But
might be an author that's strong in the start of series because she has cool concepts. But I
yeah,
think that when she drags on the series, I think they diminish and they
yeah.
don't ever end well. So,
I mean, it has not seemed that way because she has not also ended a series for either of us.
she hasn't, has she?
Nope. So I'm very
She
curious on how she ends Neon Gods and this monster romance.
Now she has quite a few completed series. The Wicked Villain series, I thought that was a completed series, is it not?
Oh, okay. I don't know. I haven't read them. And honestly, LA, I don't plan on it.
I might read the first one if I'm getting an itch for it. Well, on that note, bye.
I feel like we've totally shit on this book. There were good
Yeah.
moments. Like some of the sex scenes were nice. Some of the scenes where Rizulka is getting Belladonna out of her awful evangelical brainwashingness is really nice and refreshing. Um, I mean,
Nope.
well, not refreshing. That's the wrong word. You're right. It's just nice. Um, yeah, it's just the beginning of the sex where Rusalka's not involved and the end where Rusalka's involved at the very end is just not great. Um,
Ugh.
yeah. Mm. It leaves a bitter taste for the last book, honestly. I thought I love my sapphic novels, and I really thought I would enjoy this, and I did mildly. Took me too long to read for a novella, and I don't know if it left me wanting to read Eve and Azazels.
I think you will because it'll give you a year and it's like a close of a series and it's
Yeah. I mean, I
I
I
think
I will because I'm invested. Do I feel like it left me wanting to really know their story?
yeah,
But
I'm gonna be highly, highly disappointed because I am looking forward to it when I finally pick it up and it's as shit-tastic as this book.
yeah, honestly, LA, this is gonna be so shitty of me. I do not have high expectations.
I don't think that's shitty. I think that's realistic, but I'm in my world and I'm gonna live there
Okay. You do you and I'll do me.
and we'll see what happens.
We'll meet in the middle, as we usually do,
Always, always,
except for
always,
this book,
forever. Well,
where
because we're
you
on the
give it
same
a one
side.
and I give it a two.
I'm gonna I'm gonna give it a two. I'm gonna give it a two. I
Okay,
can't
I'm
be.
I'm
I
probably
can't
gonna
be.
copy you and give it a two too.
Of all of the 2 stars that I've given, now
Uh-huh.
these are just my 2 stars. You always go on Goodreads average ratings, right? Like what their average ratings are.
Yeah.
So the average rating for this book that we just read, for example, that we gave a 2 star to is 3.59, right?
That's generous.
Mm-hmm. Well, for freaking Credence, it's 3.69, right?
Wow. But that's because people who could not get through it.
I don't, of all of my other 2 stars, none of them are lower than Credence and this book we just read, The Succubus Prize. None of them. They're
Did you
all
finish?
higher.
Did you finish Credence?
Yeah. Yeah. Where she marries the one that doesn't talk and then he starts
Uh-huh.
talking.
Uh-huh.
Blech. Uh-huh. And they're all by the lake. Ugh. No.
I actually like really enjoy Credence. I don't know what that says about me, but
I'm so
okay.
happy for you, just not
Mhm.
for me.
It
Even
was
Midnight
bananas.
Sun, I gave 2 stars to. And that has a 3.73 average.
So I think what we're reading next is some totally not on this stratosphere of the Succubus Prize. We're going back to contemporary romance where we belong. Maybe. Who knows? Are we reading Funny Story by Emily Henry next?
Yes, we are.
LA. I just finished it.
Don't tell me anything.
Today. I'm not
Nope.
telling you a single word. How far are
You're
you?
welcome. I have finished chapter 1. I am at chapter 2.
Okay.
And I think it's a romance between Miles and Daphne, and I'm not
Mm-hmm.
vibing with Miles in the first chapter. I think he gets
That's fine.
better, but
We'll see.
yeah.
Who knows?
See?
Who knows? Who's to say? Okay, the end of the
Okay,
day. I
love
taught
you.
PE today. I love you too. Thank you for talking to me about this ridiculous book. I feel well, I was gonna say I feel like it was a bit of my choice, but I think this was both of our choice.
Both.
We have to conclude
Yeah,
this ridiculous series that we have started on.
I'm still hopeful. That's my
Uh,
optimism. I think it'll be fine.
good for you. You're a better person than me. I am not. But we'll see how it ends. Katie Robert. Give us the ending we need. And I don't even know what I desire at this point. Do you know? How do you want this
Uh,
series to end?
I just want magic.
God, I want some fucking magic.
That's all I want.
I want a cool world where everybody has magic. And what's awful is that Katie Robert has made it so there's a way for everybody to have magic, but not everybody to get magic, basically, right? I kind of find that mildly irritating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why start a breeding kink series and then not give us the breeding? Meh. I don't know. My thoughts. Just my thoughts. It's yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
bye.
Bye.